Effectively managing purchase orders is a critical component of any business. From creating a requisition to gaining approval and receiving an invoice from the vendor, there are many steps involved. By establishing an automated purchase order workflow, you can centralize documentation, seamlessly track progress in real time, and shorten purchasing cycles. Let's see how we can do this using our purchase management solution. Using Chrome or Firefox, go to the ERP URL and log in using your credentials. Once you have successfully logged in, you can see various application menus based on your user access rights. On the top right corner is the Quick Access icon. Clicking on it will take you to the app's dashboard. From here you can easily navigate to any of the installed apps or modules. Let's start with the Purchase app. Clicking on the Purchase icon would take you to the Purchase dashboard. The initial screen shows the RFQ or request for quotations list that you have already sent to your vendors and waiting to be converted in purchase orders. On the left corner above the list are 5 icons. The default and the first icon is the list view. The second icon is the Kanban view, followed by the pivot view. The fourth view is the graph view, and the last one is the calendar view. We shall discuss each views in detail, but first let's explore main options available in the Purchase Management module. Click on the Purchase top drop-down menu and it shows Request for Quotation, Purchase Orders, Vendors, and the Products menus. Let's now click on the Vendors menu and see all the vendors in our database. To create a new vendor, click on the Create button on the top. The vendor can be either an individual or a company. All the fields with light blue background color is mandatory. On the right side of the screen are Quick Access buttons to check all the meetings done or scheduled with the vendor. The Purchase button shows all the purchases already with the vendor. The Vendor Bills button shows all the invoices from the vendor. The Active button activates or disables the current vendor from the system. You can use this option if you no longer want to display the vendor in searches or purchase forms. On the bottom of the form are various tabs to add more details regarding to this vendor. From the Contacts and Addresses tab you can add various contacts of this specific vendor, like the point of contact, the vendor accounts department contact, etc. Using the Internal Notes tab, you can log any specific details regarding this vendor. From the Sales and Purchase tab, you can set other miscellaneous information regarding to this vendor. Suppose you want this vendor to display on the Sales module or app. You can click As a Customer checkbox and assign a salesperson. You can also apply a sales price list for this customer. We shall discuss more on price list when we cover the Sales app. You can set the vendor payment terms and other accounting-related settings from the Invoicing tab. You need not change the account receivable and account payable ledgers unless otherwise required. The system is already configured for you. This form shows already created vendor, with 6 contacts added. The vendor has 3 meeting records and 2 purchase records. The vendor payment terms is set to end of following month. We can easily search a particular vendor using the intelligent search located above the view icons. Let's navigate to the list view. You can see that already a search filter vendors is applied by default. You can remove the filter by clicking the X icon. Once the default filter is removed, You can see all the contacts in the system including the customers. Let's search for a contact. Type ASIS. You can see a suggestion box specifying the search criteria like search name for, search tag for, etc. Click search name for, and you can see all the contacts which has ASIS in their name. Click on the plus symbol on the magnifier icon, and you can go to advanced search options. From the filters drop-down menu you can click persons to see all the persons in the system. The companies shows all the companies in the system. Customers shows all the customers, and likewise clicking the vendors shows all the vendors in the database. You can click on Add Custom Filter option to apply multiple search option based on all the available fields, like total payable is less than a certain amount or greater than or equal to a certain amounts. There is a lot you can do with the intelligent search system. Now let's explore the products menu and see how to add new products. Clicking on the products menu takes you to the products dashboard. Click on the list view to see all the products. By default only 80 records are displayed per page. You can click on the 1 to 80 text and enter the new range. I have entered 1 to 100 to display all the 83 products from the database. You can apply filters like service products or stockable products, etc., or apply group by using the Add Custom Group drop-down. Here I am going to apply group by using internal category. Let's create a new product by clicking the Create button. As said earlier, all the fields with the light blue background are mandatory. Enter the unique product name. The product can be classified as can be sold, can be purchased from a vendor and sold, or product can be expensed. For example, if we are trading an item, then it is only can be sold and can be purchased. But if we purchase an item for our usage such as petrol, then it is can be purchased and can be expensed, not can be sold. Next we need to set the product type from the General Information tab. Product type can be consumable, service, or stockable product. You can select the category of the product from the drop-down or create a new one. You need to set the unit of measure and the purchase unit of measure. Sales and purchase units of measure can be different, but must belong to the same category. More on setting different units of measure for sales and purchase, we shall discuss in advanced options later. The Sales tab configures the point of sale category and for displaying the product in the point of sales app. We can see this when we discuss the POS app. The Purchase tab allows the product to link to the suppliers or vendors of this specific product. Which allows the generation of automatic draft RFQ or purchase order based on purchase requisition from sales department or manufacturing department. The Inventory tabs is important considering how the product behaves internally. By option, if the product is traded, manufacture if the product is a manufactured product, and make to order if the product is sourced or manufactured against a sales order. You can also set the manufacturing lead time and customer lead time. Setting the weight and volume can help generating insights in business intelligence reports, which we shall discuss in detail later. From the Invoicing tab you can set the default customer taxes and vendor taxes, that is the sales and purchase taxes for this product. Here you can set the individual income account, expense account and the price difference account for this specific product. Again, this we shall cover when we discuss accounting in detail. You can control how the purchase bills and sales invoices are generated by setting the purchase control policy and the invoicing policy. The Notes tab is self-explanatory, where you can input various descriptions related to the product, on various stages of the business workflow. Now let's go back to where we started, the RFQ menu, and create a new request for quotation. You can go to the Purchase Orders menu if you want to create a purchase order directly. The top status bar has some action buttons on the right side, and different stages the document is in at the left side. Now let's create a new RFQ, select Vendor from the Vendors drop-down menu, and add the products and the required quantity. You can enter the unit price of the item if you want the vendor to know that you are looking for the specific pricing. Click Save, and then click the Send RFQ by Email button. This opens a new window with a formatted email and attached RFQ document. You can make the necessary changes, if required. Click the Send button to send the email to the vendor. Remember, you need the outgoing mail server configured, and the vendor should have an email address in the vendor master's database. You can note that the stage of the document has changed to RFQ send. Now as soon as the vendor or supplier sends you the quotation in response to your RFQ, with their price, you could edit the document and enter the price of the products and click the Confirm Order button. Note the change in the stage of the document to purchase order in the status bar. Based on the product settings you have made in the product purchase order policy, the following things happen automatically. An incoming shipment is registered in the inventory app, and the warehouse manager gets notified. Let's check the inventory app. The inventory dashboard shows various panels. Go to the Receipts panel and click the To Receive button. There is a list of all incoming shipments, and you can choose the record you want to validate. Here the warehouse manager checks if the ordered quantity and the received quantity are same. If not, he can enter the actual received quantity. If the received quantity is less than the ordered quantity, then the system generates a back order to the current document automatically. Please remember the system is configured by default such that if the products are received at the warehouse only, the purchase invoices are generated. This completes the purchase workflow. We can see how the accounting entries are generated in the next video. Meanwhile, you can send your queries to support@novasoft.india.com or info@getautoapps.com. We are always happy to help you. Thanks for watching.